tricks on how to customize your game.
Hello, friends and folks. We're back for another Your First Game Jam, although probably not your first game jam, your second or third or fourth game jam at this point. But if it's your first game jam, welcome again. I'm your host, Carol Trank. I'm from Unity, and I'm really excited because we have a lot of things to show you, and it's a little bit different today, so I want to mix it up. But before we get started, I'm just going to give you a little bit of the lowdown. We're really excited. It's going to be very jam-packed, so 2.5 hours. So be prepared with your snacks and drinks and everything. Get ready with it. You're going to be here with us for a while. Yeah, what did you bring? I brought fruit salad. Damn it, I said I would not bring it up, and I did immediately within the first 5 seconds. What did you bring?
It's German hacker water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's used in the demo scene in Germany. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a long story. I won't start it.
Okay, cool. Nick, what did you bring?
I bought regular water.
It looks very clean.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, great. Perfect. So if you're worried, don't be. This whole game jam will be recorded, so you can watch it again later if you missed anything. All the exciting stuff will be available for you to share with your friends as well. So first, we have to introduce our guest. You probably know Andres already because he's done so many game jams and let's streams and let's plays with me and the winners announcements for the ideas contest. But Andres, tell us who you are, what you do at LEGO, and the most important part, a cool question, which is if you were a LEGO minifigure, which LEGO minifigure would you be? And chat, you let me know too what you would want to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's tricky. Now it's hard to actually do the proper introduction beforehand. But yeah. Hi, I'm Anders, and I've been enjoying being part of these game jams a couple of times before. Worked on the Unity Microgame. And yeah, sitting in the LEGO Games department at LEGO and doing projects like this, which is really, really fun. So yeah. And then for your question.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see if I could find a prop. So I would like to be, Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park.
Oh.
But I also have to be honest with myself that I'm probably more Nedry. Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park. So
that's great.
Yeah. So I'd like to be Ian Malcolm, but to be frank, I'm probably more Dennis Nedry.
That's hilarious. Okay, that's great. I did not expect you to say that. That's really good. Thank you. And welcome again to another great game jam. We have a special guest today. I think I've already hinted it all over the internet and Instagram stories and everything, but I'm really, really excited about our guest as we usually have one. Nick, tell us who you are, what you do at LEGO, and which LEGO minifigure you'd be if you could be one.
Yeah, well, hello. I'm Nick. I'm a LEGO designer working at LEGO. So I get to figure out, in new LEGO sets, which bricks go into the box to make interesting new toys. So I've done some things for Ninjago, some LEGO movies, Harry Potter, and then recently also Bonsai Tree as well. And if I could be a LEGO minifigure, let me go grab one. My favorite LEGO minifigure. I would be this guy, the Spyrius robot, with the cool transparent helmet.
Yeah, the transparent helmet is great.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It matches my glasses.
Yeah. Nice. I always try to match to my LEGO sets as well, obviously.
That's how I make all my fashion design choices.
Oh man. Do you really though? I think every LEGO crossover with Adidas and all the stuff, you just have to wear all the clothes now. I feel like you should.
It certainly happens with some people that if some people in the office have very distinctive outfits, then sooner or later there's going to be a minifigure that looks kind of like them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
It hasn't happened to me yet though. But
Yet.
Trying.
Yeah.
Trying.
I need to come hang out at your office more often so that one day miraculously there's just a Carol minifigure. Please chat, vote for a Carol Unity minifigure. I want to see it. Nice. Thank you so much. We're going to talk a lot more with Nick. There's going to be a little bit of an interview. We're going to ask a ton of questions. If you guys are not into frogs, this is the time that you close the stream, because we're going to talk a lot about frogs. So get really excited about that. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. Andrew is going to be the one that's going to be taking us through making a game. And we got a lot of feedback from you guys that you wanted to really know about the actual game dev process. Like, how do we think about it? How do we start making a game? You know, the ideas contest made us really realize a lot of people were like, you know, we gave you a great foundation, but sometimes just getting your ideas on paper and then making it into something is often like the hardest part. So we're going to show you how we're going to do all those parts, which I think is actually really fun. So both Anders and Nick will be showing us how they ideate through this game. So you guys are going to be a part of that process as well. So start thinking of what you'd like to see in the game. Nick is going to be building that stuff, and then Anders is actually going to be making it into a game for you. So start thinking of all the crazy things that you want being built, and Nick is going to be at your mercy. I'm sorry in advance. So, but remember to share your screenshots if you're joining this and you're making your own game along with us. Please take pictures, post it on on Twitter, and then use the hashtag LEGO Game Jam and tag me or Nick or Anders or Unity. You can tag everyone if you want, your mom too probably, and so that we can see and we can share some of your favorites. I would really love that. I want to see what you guys are doing, even if you're just hanging out, just to be entertained by us. You know, drop us a hello so that we know you're appreciating it as well. But on that point, let's just get started. Anders, tell us, what are you going to do? What are we doing today?
Yeah, so, you know, before the stream, have a thought about, so what are we actually going to make? And thinking about what, you know, Nick would be also up for doing. And then my own hobby. So I love planes. And I really do want to make something with flying things. That would be fun.
I think we should say that Anders likes more than just planes. Like, he actually flies one in real life, like an actual cool, super cool dude.
Well, the plane is from 65, so you might need to, when you see it, it might be a little bit more, it's not James Bond coming in a plane is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I would like to do some flying stuff, and I think for the microgame I also want to do something that's a little bit different from what the microgame sort of is showing in sort of walking through the tutorials, was very much about the Lego minifigure in third-person view running around. Want to make something different from that. So before this, I sort of sketch this thing. I don't know if it shows on the stream.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do, and that is also what my process is just sketching what it is. And it's not necessarily for others to understand, more for myself to understand what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I had this idea is that I really want to try making something where you had to guide flying objects like planes to destinations in a simplistic way. So like there was a lot of titles on iPhone and Android, flight control and stuff like that, but making a little bit more whimsy and fun. So I was thinking about, I want to spawn a lot of planes in sort of a screen and then guide them just by mouse click to certain destinations, and then you get a score if they reach the right destinations.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
simple concept. I think that's the way you should start. So a real game jam, that's really what you do. You try not to get too complicated or bogged down with like too many ideas. You think of a nice, simple little concept, and then you build on that. So we can make it more complex as the game jam goes on. So I'm kind of excited about this.
Yeah, and I will, I'll do my best to use the behavior bricks and microgame, the stuff we have. But I also know already now that I might dive into other areas of Unity a little bit deeper down. So yeah. Yeah,
I think we're gonna get a little bit more complex for you guys. The ideas contest really threw us off, and we can talk more about that later. But that's why it inspired kind of this stream. But Nick, what are you gonna do for this game jam?
So I guess for a Lego game, something that would be quite fun to have is some Lego models. So I'm going to be using Studio to be building some digital Lego models that we can then add directly into Unity. So I guess maybe some kinds of planes you'll need for your game, Anders.
Some sort of flying thing.
Yeah, some flying
kind of
objects that you can guide to destinations. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess like we can kind of figure out what those could potentially be. So
Yeah,
I can kind of
Can
if you've
probably
got
help us.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys want? I mean, a plane is very standard, obviously a flying object, but what else can fly? I don't know. You guys thought of some pretty crazy stuff last time we did this stream. Like we ended up with giraffes in space and then
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could have anything could fly, I guess. Like you could have boats flying along.
Boats flying. Yeah. So
spaceships.
yeah, we can take a look at that in a second. But chat, just throw your suggestions in there. As per usual, I prefer when there's deep lore behind your choices. So as the game goes on, I want very, very good stories behind all of our choices so I can do very dramatic readings of them as per tradition when we're doing it. So do we start with you, Anders? Like, should we get started or?
Yeah, let's get going. I think, and then we can Nick can start making, because I also feel we should show the sort of way you work with models. So what I'll be starting with is sort of just laying out the foundations of the game. Now I have the idea on my drawing, and then I would sort of white box it out, sort of just use simplistic models, not the final result, and then hopefully swap them out with some amazing. Well, I don't doubt that, but really cool models from Nick, right? So we start simplistic while making this game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chat's already throwing in some great suggestions. Unity wants a hot air balloon, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's some UFOs, dragons, a panda, of course, naturally. Some aliens, cows.
Yeah, cows would be fun. Yeah.
A flying steam locomotive.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that, actually. Yeah. Elephant with big ears. Those are the only ones allowed. A dark angel. All right. People are getting... All right.
Okay, that's a lot of ideas. Okay. I think, Nick, you have to go in on to the drawing board, and then I'll start laying out the foundation. So when you start the microgame project, it will look similar to this, right? I don't want to go through the tutorials. I'll make something new. So I'll just load the playground scene, which is a good starting point. So I think I'm going to start out in this sort of play area we have part of the microgame project. So I think the first thing I just want to do is get rid of everything I don't need. So I don't need, sorry, pepperoni.
I'm sorry,
I don't
pepperoni.
need you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm pressing the
this
delete
time.
button. I just want to say bye to him. Bye. Gone. Don't need him for my game. And I also don't need all the LEGO models. And also not the third-person free-look camera. I'm just using a simple camera. So what I'm starting out with is just a very, very simple scene. Very plain. And then I'm starting to think, what do I need? So I need to have some planes that I can guide to the destination. So I think the first thing I want to do is make the play area. I'm just deleting all these. At this point, I might have just created an empty scene from scratch, but yeah. Because I feel this skybox would be pretty useful for a flying environment.
Oh yeah, but we can figure out the theme after, right? Like,
yeah,
it's really easy to just change like the sky or something to fit the vibe, depending on the flying object we choose. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm just closing the tutorial, using that. Boom, and then I have my own layout here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel a little bit at home. So for people on the stream, if you don't know, you can sort of move all the windows around in Unity to have it feel like however you want, what feels confident for you. And this is how my setup usually looks like. So just moving stuff a little bit around.
I don't see your window anymore, Anders. I think
don't
you
see
need
my
to.
window.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you need to refresh your screen share. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, maybe we can go take a look at what Nick's doing actually, because it looks like he's already building some stuff.
Well, I'm trying to make an elephant at the moment.
Oh.
Because that sounded like a good flying thing.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm just going around finding bricks that I think could be useful for making an elephant.
Are we gonna make it a flying elephant?
Yeah, with big wings, big ears, with which to fly.
Nice, cool. All right, I'll let you think of what pieces you're gonna get there, and it looks like Andrew's back, so we can actually get back to actually making a flying game.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, don't know what happened. So I think also on my drawing, if you remember, I had some obstacles. Could be asteroids, or now it's a flying elephant. Maybe mice, because I guess elephants are afraid of mice. I don't know. But at least I want to have some obstacles that you have to guide the flying object around.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm placing these very simple primitives. So in Unity, you can go to game object and then just create cube, spheres, capsules as simple primitives to have something to work with. So you have to. So I have a sort of an abstract view of my game, sort of white boxing it out, and then hopefully swapping it out with the real stuff later on.
So when you use a word like white box,
Right.
what does that mean in game development?
Yeah, so it means that you don't have any of the final assets. You're in principle just outlining how your level is going to look by using simplistic, no textures, just simplistic shapes. But you can actually play the game. You can make the logic while it's still just the white box environment, not finish art or theme for that matter.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna start with the most tricky part in this, I think, because I actually want to move stuff around with my mouse on this plane, and we don't have any cool bricks for that. But luckily, Unity has a cool system that I can use called navigation. So that means that I can actually make my level, my playing field here. I can actually define how my flying objects can walk on that. Very, very easy and very quick. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm opening this navigation window. And then I'm going to highlight everything that the user can, my plane or whatever it is, flying elephant, can walk on. Then I'm simply baking that. Takes a while, depending on your machine.
Does Lego give you guys really fancy computers?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm only asking because I just did my rehearsal with Rasmus, who also works at Lego, and he keeps calling it his Lego PC. And so I always keep thinking that he has like a special computer that's made of Legos.
Oh, that would be fun. No, sadly no. We haven't made that technology yet.
Oh man, I want a Lego PC.
Yeah. So
Sometimes
now
we'll like build Lego on the outside, right, to encase it and
Yeah, exactly.
make it look like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have this blue thing, and that means that everything that is blue, my flying thing can fly across, and you can see there's this white outline, meaning that it cannot fly into these pillars. But now I actually need something that could fly. I don't know, Nick, if you have something that I could use as my flying object.
I have like 2 plates. That's just like 2 2x6 plates. Maybe that can work as a placeholder.
Yeah, that's fine.
I also have a placeholder elephant as well. So I can send those through to you.
Yeah, that'll be good. So what we can do in the microgame is that Nick has been building some models in Brickling Studio, and I can import those models into my game and work with them. So using this import model menu. Let me see.
Cool. So Nick, how did you get from your your two little pieces there that's supposed to represent whatever is going to be our flying object for the rest? And then how do you send that over to Anders when he's using it in Unity?
Oh yeah, so basically I can just in Studio select these pieces and then go to File, Export as Algebra, and then just call it, just gonna call it placeholder plane, and save that. And then I can share that with Anders, and then he can show how to bring it in.
Perfect. But if you guys didn't know, like if we went too fast, don't worry. There's like a lot of tutorials that we set up on the Learn site as well. And somebody in my great mods will throw you some links in chat so that you can figure out exactly how to do that.
Yeah. There we go. So behind the scenes, Nick has shared me the file, which I can use the LEGO Tools menu, import the model, and find the file, placeholder plane. So what it's doing, it's importing. Oh, there we go. I got all the stuff. That's fine.
Okay, you got everything.
That's fine. That's not a problem. I'll just move that to the side.
Oh, that's my mistake. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll just clean that up a bit. So I'll use this one. Then delete the rest. There we go. So this is a beautiful temporary plane that I can use for my game. So this one is now it's a very simple Lego model, but nevertheless a Lego model that I can use for controlling for being my object. I might need to recolor it, Nick, because it's white on white. I hope that's okay.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. But that's quite easy. So I can use the Lego tools to select the brick, and then we have this menu where you can select the different colors that we have in the Lego system. I think I'll just color it red. So right now, if I go to my game view, where I can see my game, the only thing I did was setting up the camera so it's looking directly at my playing field. And if I press play, nothing really do anything, simply because I haven't used that navigation mesh for anything, and my Lego model is just a static prop that is in the scene. So I can use my behavior bricks actually to make it come a little bit more alive. So inside, and if you go through the LEGO Microgame tutorial, there is these behavior bricks, and there's also a manual you can. I encourage you guys to check out that describes each of the brick and what they do. But I will just use the alive brick. It has a nice little heart on it. So if I press play now, hopefully it should do something. My model, yeah.
Ooh.
My plane is moving around.
So it's pretty self-explanatory, and this is like essentially what you and Lego built together with us at Unity. It was like we wanted you guys to be able to build a game, but we wanted to have simple mechanics that you can just go ahead and just like a series of behaviors, literally, so that you can just throw it onto your bricks and just have a game and start going with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, what I wanted to do was actually to have it move on this playing field. So if I touch somewhere on this screen, my Lego model should move towards that, because I need to guide it to certain places. So for that, I actually need to do something very specific. And there's a brilliant guide for that. So if you go to the navigation section over here, where I make this blue mesh thing, there always in Unity there are these little, it's very hard to see on the screen, I know, but there's this little question mark in a circle, and if you click that, it actually opens up a nice manual that describes what that thing does. And so this little plane needs to work with this navigation mesh. So take the placeholder plane, and then I'll add a component to it that is called nav mesh agent. So that means that now my little plane is able to understand that blue navigation mesh you saw here. Yeah. So now I just need to write a little script that actually moves the plane on this playing field. So I think I'll get started with that. Because right now it does absolutely nothing. So I'll fix that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. And then let's take a look at Nick. What have you building so far?
Well, I've just been making I found a few more bits I like for an elephant. That could be an air or not.
Yeah.
If you were to place it around like that. So I'm just sort of gathering my ideas right now. And then also starting to look at a plane. So I'll need a propeller to go on the front.
Do you want to show a little bit? You were showing us right before the stream exactly how you start thinking. Like, so the interesting thing, for those who don't know, Nick is a LEGO designer / master builder at LEGO, which means that he's the one who's thinking of all the great sets that you have. But there's like a whole process behind that, right? Like I'm one of those people who are like extremely overwhelmed whenever I open up a box of Lego. If there are not like perfect instructions, I can't visualize like you do. When I start building a Lego set, I'm like, why, how does this piece become this whole thing? It all makes sense at the end, but you needed someone to think of all that for you. So like, I'm kind of curious how you start your like ideas and your process actually.
It's a little bit different sometimes, or like in different cases, it's sometimes different. Sometimes like you'd start with like a brick where you like see a brick and it's like, oh, that could be a really cool tail, or that could be a cool like tooth or something. So that becomes like the starting point. So with this elephant, I'm just kind of like grabbing a couple of pieces that I think could be good, and then based on the ones I like the most, I can start to piece together the rest that builds it together. But sometimes also just like to just go onto Google and just like have a look and see what kind of things might be existing, I guess. So if it's for a plane, here's an example I prepared earlier of like, you could just Google like plane clip art and just kind of see like, well, what does the plane look like? Because it could be all sorts of shapes and sizes. Maybe there's a particular type of plane that you want to go for. So just exploring around to see like what's a good silhouette. But also just looking for planes as well, like what kind of Lego sets of planes have there been before. Could give you a lot of good inspiration, particularly for how to build it with Lego. So often that's where I'd start, where it's like if I'm working on a model, I'd have a look at how other ways have had something like this been done before, to just like know maybe there's a good starting point here, or I actually want to try and explore something different. So you get a lot of inspiration that way. So it's kind of the same for boats, where it's like you just get boats could be all sorts of things with sails, or just with what are those called? The paddles, or like a bigger boat. And then with Lego models as well, there's a lot of cool different, also just like really simple shapes as well that translate really nicely into here's now a boat. And that's definitely something that for like making a little model that's going to go into the game, I think it's quite useful too, is just really trying to focus on the key shapes of a model and how those can be represented with a couple of bricks will often help quite nicely for plugging it into a game, that it sort of runs well if it's made out with only a couple of bits.
Nice.
So keeping it kind of clean is useful for that.
Yeah. Chat, if you can shout out all the models that you like in there. Actually, if you guys can figure out which one is Nick's, it's pretty easy, but if you can figure out which one of those are Nick's, shout it out in chat. It particularly stands out. Nice. Thank you. So let's go back to Anders. Let's see what are you doing now?
Yeah, so I finished my my little script that was able to move my plane, and then I set 3 destinations. Definitely waiting for, this is just temporary for my white box, but I just needed to have some clear, whatever planes are spawning in this area should be guided towards their correct color. So, but it doesn't have to be colors. It was just my way of thinking of having these 3 distinct flying objects has to fly to its correct place to get the best score. So that could be a dragon flying to its nest or a spaceship flying to its planet and so forth. Right now I'm just using colors because, I don't have, I'm not making any models. That is, Nick that is helping me out with that, luckily. So I'm just using colors as reference. And then in terms of moving this plane, I made this script. Let me actually just show you. See if can I zoom this? Yeah, so might be hard to see on the stream, but what is going on? And this particular piece of code is actually directly taken from the Unity manual. So when you click this little helper icon on that navigation component, this is actually the piece of code that is shown on the online Unity manual that describes every step that is what is going on. But essentially what it does is that it's so this if input get mouse button down piece is listening for me pressing the left mouse button, and then it shoots what's it called, array. So it shoots an sort of artificial hidden line from the camera to downwards to what the camera sees, and whatever that line hits, which means my mouse cursor, I'm telling that my plane should move towards that point. Happy to dive more into that if the chat wants it, but it's also very well described on the Unity manual. So that means that right now I have this plane. Let me move the stuff aside, where I can now click somewhere on my playing field, and it looks a little bit weird and it sort of flies in the wrong direction, but at least it's flying towards where it's going, right? But we should definitely fix so it's actually flying in the right position. But the first thing I want to do is actually to spawn these planes. So we have multiple planes that pops up, and then I have to guide them to these spots. And for that, I'm gonna use the spawn brick, which is quite new to the microgame. It's from the latest asset pack we did for it. Sort of the spring pack contains a new behavior brick, which I'm gonna use now, and that is the spawn brick. And it does exactly as you would imagine. It spawns object whenever this action is triggered. So if I do it now, then it's I can define what area my what is in what area objects should spawn. Just defining a good size here. There we go. Good size. So don't know if you can see it on the stream. There's this very thin line that is green, and inside this green box objects will spawn. So if I press play now, let's see what happens. Whoop.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now it becomes a very different game.
Was that intentional? Of course it was. Yes. We had this planned.
No. Okay. It's because the spawn brick has a default objects spawning, and that is this Dr. Pato Doc, that is your creation, Nick, right?
He is supposed to be a supervillain.
Yeah.
So
is he?
It looks like he's
Oh, no.
working as intended.
Definitely working as intended.
There's so many.
Yeah, make it stop. So that sort of worked. Now I actually want my plane to spawn instead of Dr. Pato. And over here in the inspector, the spawn action has a lot of properties. So you can define, right now there is this cool assemble animation. That is all part of the spawn brick. I didn't have to do anything to make that happen. And you can define how long that effect should be, if you want a different effect, and so forth. But most importantly, this one, Lego model, I can actually set which object it should spawn. And that shouldn't be Dr. Pato. That should be my plane. So before I can do that, I need to make it a prefab. So I'll drag it down to my assets. There I have the placeholder plane.
Somebody in chat, Young Scott, says, "Oh, I love the Lego game style, the way objects appear. Very nice." I think that's like we've talked about it in previous streams, but it's very intentional. A lot of the things that how you interact or how like this, like a very tactile feeling of how certain Lego bricks appear. It's all part of like trying to recreate using Lego bricks or seeing Lego bricks in real life, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's also why obviously we want to get us close to that wonderful tactile feeling you have when you have the sort of two bricks connecting, that clutch that is happening. So for instance, when you place bricks and move them around, you have this little snap to it. So that is really important for us to try to get as close to that as possible. Yeah. So now I've just changed Dr. Pato to my placeholder plane, and I'll press play again and see what happens. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Planes appearing.
I love the way that was built. That was great.
Yeah. That kind of works.
There's so many planes.
Yeah. So now okay. So what do I need to do now? Now I have a lot of red planes that needs to go to the red destination I have on my screen. And also they're just spawning. But what happens if I press anywhere? Oh, sorry, I need to go to this screen. They all move towards the same location, which is not what I wanted.
I thought that was the quality of planes. They naturally just swarm together.
Well, planes are not a flock animal per se, so I kind of need to be able to sort of guide them individually. That sort of was my inspiration for the game, at least.
Yeah, just shepherd them into the right place.
Yeah. So why this is happening is that every single plane has that script I made attached to it that is telling it to go to that specific point. So they're actually doing exactly what they are instructed to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what I need to do now is change it up a bit. And what I'm going to do is, so I need to make a script. So I have first to select one of the planes and then point to where it needs to go. So I need to change it up a little bit. So I'm starting to make a new script. Which might be a cue for Nick because this can take a few minutes. I think I need to figure out what I need to do. Totally.
We'll let Anders like mull on that. And
yeah.
So Nick, what are you building now? We mentioned a few things so Anders, we heard Anders talk about a few things. Like he needed obviously the actual flying object that we were controlling, but then things like destinations and obstacles and all that. So what are you building for us?
So I've kind of like looking at what Anders' placeholders were. I've now sort of set out my own placeholder working files of. I've got the green destination, a blue destination, and a red destination. So the red one's going to be a plane. So probably going to a little airport with a control tower there. Then the blue one I was thinking could be a castle. So I've got some kind of like castle boat that maybe is going towards the castle on the water there.
Oh, cute.
And then I still need to figure out where the elephant would be going to.
Maybe chat can help us.
That would be.
Yeah, chat. Where do you think our final destination should be? Where do elephants go at the end of their trips?
Where do elephants go? Yeah.
Yeah.
Question.
That became very deep and philosophical for no reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on the castle for a bit and try and get in a little floor for some kind of onlookers to be standing there. Just make that more clear what that's going to be, right?
So so this is the part where, I was watching so many, I think I played like hundreds and hundreds of your games for the LEGO Ideas contest. And the thing that impressed me the most was I didn't realize that people were actually in Bricklink Studio or in Studio, like just building all these models out from scratch. And a lot of them, some of them, especially like Odyssey, like those were not existing models. Like they had to have somehow had those models or the instructions to make them or knew all the pieces or something to be able to create them. So I'm like, I think this is the fun part of inviting Nick onto the stream, so that we actually get to watch this process.
Yeah, I was amazed about the amount of creativity, not only in the games, but also the models themselves, right? There was a lot of really, really cool models in that. Yeah,
so this is really fun to see it in action. I hope you guys are enjoying it. People want a peanut house. That makes the most sense.
Peanut house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I have no idea how to make a peanut though.
A lake.
Try.
A lake. The savannah. A zoo. The circus. I don't know why I didn't think of all that. It was just made too much sense and my brain couldn't handle it.
The lake sounds really cool, like a little watering hole that they're all kind of like gathering towards.
Yeah, I like that too.
Cool. Maybe I can just lay down, take some of these pieces and just plop that in there. And we'll have ourselves a circular lake in no time.
Perfect little lake.
There we go.
And they want it to go through a ring of fire. No pressure.
Okay.
A ring of fire. Okay.
That's a pretty good obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I guess I should also make it a hazard obstacle in the game.
Ooh, yeah.
So the planes actually get destroyed if they are getting hit by the fire, or the thing is getting hit by the fire. That would be fun.
I want the elephant to explode every time it hits a ring of fire.
Yeah, so I think what I really want to do is that, so now we have a flying elephant for one of them. If that goes, Nick, did you figure out where elephants go?
To watering hole.
Oh, so that's the watering hole. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it goes to the castle, it should also explode because that's the wrong place for
elephants. Do not go to castles. No, that's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. No, we cannot have that.
Yeah. So that should give a.
They won't fit through the door. It's not gonna work.
Nice. More important question. What's the name of our elephant, guys? I need some lore. We're getting a story together, so I need someone to write me a great story, and then we can add it to the back of the box cover of the game.
Yeah, I can already see the box art for this game. It's gonna be
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, perfect. Anders, do you need Nick to send you the little elephant, or?
Yeah, that'll actually be good. So we can.
A placeholder elephant.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. So I'm gonna take the elephant placeholder. I'm gonna invert my selection. I'm gonna delete everything else.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna send that to you.
And then I have my special request because I can see now when the planes, they are not flying in the right direction. Mm-hmm. That is because right now it is because we're working in 3D space, you have up, forward, and left or right. And right now I need my models to move forward. So we need to sort of change the directions of the plane, Nick, if we can, or the elephant.
Yep. Okay, so I've got elephant facing this way right now. Which way should it turn, based on what the planes are doing currently?
Let's actually start with that. Then we can see. Let's trial and error. Let's see.
All right. Okay.
Because
I'll send through this guy.
Because the right side of the plane is forward now, which is why it's moving sort of sideways. Yeah.
So people gave a lot of great names for the elephant. Ellie, elephant, elephone. One person said dog. So you know what? I like your audacity. Mine. Fleppo. Unity suggested Elon Tusk, which I think we might need to go for.
Elon Tusk. That's good.
Very apropos. So we'll use Elon Tusk. I love it.
Great. Sounds good.
And one person wanted Karen. So.
Oh yeah. Well, if there's going to be multiple elephants, shouldn't they all have different names?
Yeah. So one is named Ellie, one will be named Karen, and one is Elon Tusk. So it's the story of Elon Tusk and his adventures in space, which sounds about right. I mean,
and the dangers that you encounter on the way to the watering hole.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I have the elephant, and it's definitely moving sideways, Nix, as you can see.
Okay. So
yeah.
But forwards is which way does it have to spin? Like
I think 90 degrees. Yeah.
90 degrees counterclockwise or clockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Directions are hard, guys.
Yeah. That's the beautiful part of
my
game.
left or your left? All right.
Let's
I'm gonna try
that.
that. I'm gonna make a new one.
And then I also need to sort of control all my. So what I did is that I put a trigger on my spawn action because I needed to control it a little bit, so the game doesn't go completely insane with the with green elephants. So this one is simply triggering between 2 and 10 seconds. It will trigger the spawn brick. So only between 2 and 10 seconds, I'll get a new elephant. I also think in the game I should have a maximum of elephants in the scene, and then you die. I think.
Okay.
Because
yeah, that's a great way. Or else it'll just you'll crash your entire computer.
Yeah, I think we can manage quite a few elephants, but it will also be a lot.
Yeah. So somebody in chat, Cool Beat Gaming, actually, is it okay if somebody in chat makes the suggestions on how you should build your game?
Yeah, go for it.
They're saying use the model vector.right instead of forward. So.
Yes. Yes, I could actually have done that. That would be a lot easier.
Thank you. So this is a testament to the reason why we did the stream like this instead of having it be all pre-prepared was that's a part of it. We knew that there was a ton of ways to do things. We like the brainstorming aspect of this. So we love that you guys are throwing suggestions down. It's a great.
I guess if for some reason I couldn't rotate the elephant, then that would be the way to do it, right? And I guess sometimes that would happen. It's like this asset needs to be this way, and then we need to adjust it in the game. Versus we can adjust the asset at the placeholder stage, I guess, to get it right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a good placeholder elephant. Well, it's actually moving backwards, but that's besides the point. It'll be changed anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna update my elephant to be in the only other direction, and I guess that will be the right one. Cool.
Check. Okay, so my next thing I want to do is now I have all these elephants that I can move around. Now I actually need to do some logic around it. Now they actually need to create some scoring system so you can actually earn points by directing the elephants to the water hole. And I also feel like it should be dangerous to move. So I want it to be a little bit chaotic. So you constantly have to move the elephants because if they touch each other, they explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Just like in real life. Trying to make a realistic game here, guys.
Yep. I've seen that happen. It's quite sad.
So I'm gonna do this just by using the behavior bricks again. So what I'm gonna do is that I definitely need an explode brick because I need to explode my elephant. Here we go.
I have a question. Are you the type of person that once you finish building your Lego set, you just smash it? Are you that type of person?
Smash it?
Okay, yeah. That pretty much answers it.
Why?
Because then you can build something else.
I was building a set over the weekend with my niece and nephew, and like my niece, when she finished it, she was like, "That's it. We're just gonna place it on the shelf." And immediately, like the minute he put the last piece, my nephew just wrecked it on the ground. And I was like, "Oh,
okay.
I guess that's that's how you do it."
Yeah. I'm very meticulously sort of disassembling it and sorting the bricks and so forth. So I think that tells a little bit about me, I guess.
Tell us what kind of Lego person you are in chat. I want to know what kind of are you a breaker or are you a keeper? I don't know what to call you.
So what I'm doing now, I have the explode brick and then I have a touch trigger. So that means if anything touches this elephant, it will explode, which is kind of what I want. The only thing I'm gonna change is in the inspector, there is the sense property. And if you hover over with the mouse, it sort of explains what that means. So right now it is sensing a player, but we don't have the term of a player in my game here. So I'm gonna change that to just bricks, I think, at least for now. Mm-hmm. So that means that every time this elephant touches other bricks, it will explode. I think that would work, at least for now.
So will that apply to obstacles as well?
No, because they're not made out of bricks for now. So these pillars I have in my screen are not made out of bricks, so it will ignore that. But it will actually mean that if it touches my spawn brick, it will also explode.
Uh-huh.
But so when Nick have some obstacles for me to put in my level, it would explode.
Okay,
so
perfect.
It'll be pretty hard to manage, I think. But let's try now and see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I should maybe change my random timer so we don't have to wait for that to trigger. I'll do that next time. So here's my my elephant. Has the 2 bricks on it, and if I... Oh no. Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! Okay, that's good. So now they're at least exploding. Okay, now I at least have my stress factor, and that is that they cannot touch each other. Now I need to make the actual overall logic of my game, and that is that you actually have to guide them to the right destination. And I think I'm gonna make that now, and that includes scoring as well. Yeah. Let me see how I'm gonna do that. So I definitely think I need to place some bricks on the destinations, and one of them is definitely a counter brick. This one is interesting, and because it is actually a way of having a value shared between different Lego models. And actually one of the one we provide is score, which is what I need. So that means that I can have a value score, and I can also have some UI, and then I can say it's operator add, and I add a value of 1, and then let's say repeat. Let's actually just try this now. Now I have this counter of a score on this one up here. What happens? Okay, brilliant. I'm slowly winning in my game.
Yeah. That's exactly how I like to play games. It just plays itself.
I think I've just made an idle game. Maybe a boring one, but at least...
We made a movie.
Yeah. Okay. But again, that's expected behavior, because an action brick in itself does trigger every time it's on playtime. So you need to have a trigger. So it only adding the score when something happens. And I want it to be triggered by when something is, let's say, nearby. And that thing has to be the correct model. And in this case, the elephant. So yeah, I think I'm going to spend some time now setting up. So I have my counter brick that is adding to the overall score if an elephant reaches the green destination. But if anything else reaches this destination, you get a minus score. So you get minus point for sending the wrong thing to the wrong destination. I think that would work fun in the game.
Yeah, that is fun. I'll let you think a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we're up for our first info cycle where I can talk a little bit about our guests, because that's really what you're here for, is to talk about Lego. And I'm sorry, Nick is like looked super focused, but I'm gonna ask you your favorite question, which is I want to know about the frogs. So for those who don't know, if you've become a complete TikTok fiend like me for the past year, how I actually discovered Nick was through TikTok. Strangely enough, he created the Lego Bonsai Tree, which has become like extremely popular. I think it's sold out almost everywhere. So if anyone in chat has one, let us know if you have it. It's a really beautiful set, and it's actually really special because of frogs. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I guess like the bonsai tree, there is sort of two sets of leaves that you get in the set. One of them is sort of like a set of sort of more traditional classic leaves, sort of green with leaf pieces, I guess, being used to make it. But then the other leaf set is sort of sakura, like cherry blossom inspired tree, where we use like 100 blossom elements, I guess, which are made using the Lego frog, that at a distance, it looks sort of like a cherry blossom tree. Then up close, it's actually Lego frogs. And I guess I have a bit of a weird history with frogs in Lego sets. I have been known to put frogs into Lego sets before.
Okay, this isn't the first time.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess there was a Lego set that I did at one point, a lion dance set, where I used frogs as like the heirs of the lion dances, and then I also used frogs as sort of details in the rest of the build, and it sort of ended up that there was like, I think like 24 frogs or something. There was a lot of frogs in this Lego set, which I noticed at the time was sort of the most Lego frogs that there were in the Lego set, which I thought was quite cool. I was quite happy with that because it was an accident, I swear. And then, so I sort of noticed that, hang on, it seems like I'm putting a lot of frogs in sets. I probably shouldn't be doing that. Just
because there's a limited supply of frogs in the world.
There's a finite number of frogs, and we're used to making a certain amount of Lego frogs, like one or two per set occasionally. So when it came to like working on the bonsai tree, I was sort of like exploring different leaf options, I guess, and something I really wanted to do was use like pieces in unexpected ways to kind of like encourage people to then be making your own leaf sets as well. Mm-hmm. So I wanted it to be kind of a different choice from the green leaves. It should be sort of something different to be able to choose between one or the other. And I didn't want to use, like, my mind sort of went to frogs, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do that because that would be quite self-indulgent, I guess. Like I'll explore like what kind of options there are, and kind of try and be professional and not just like fill the whole thing with frogs. But then another designer, Wes, suggested to me that maybe I should try using frogs, and I kind of realized it would be unprofessional not to try. Using
exactly.
Frogs, right? I should explore all the options. And quite disappointingly, or like, part of me was disappointed, part of me was very excited, because I think it worked quite well. That at a distance you had this illusion of it just looks like a blossoms. And the thing is, because it's sort of the like asymmetric organic shape of the blob,
exactly.
At a distance it's just kind of a blob shape, and then a lot of other sort of one by one pieces that we have didn't quite capture that. That like it looked more geometric. So, and then there'd be people that would sort of come by my desk and sort of be talking to me, and then sort of notice that, like, oh, are those frogs on the tree? And they like found that really funny. So it's like, yeah, I think this is actually like the right thing to do here, because it's a really fun moment when you notice that there's just hundreds of little eyes just looking at you from this tree. And I think it also kind of shows that you can use pieces in different ways.
Yeah, I think there's actually a name for that, right? When you use pieces that are unconventional like that. Is it NPUs?
Yeah, NPU, like nice part usage.
Yeah, it's such a wholesome name for it too. It's very cute. Nah, yeah, I really love that set. I love that it's very tongue-in-cheek. I feel like it's very you. Now that I've gotten to know you, it's like this really beautiful kind of like quite a Lego bonsai. Is kind of like, it's not really like, out of all the Lego sets, it's kind of like to me a more serious set. But then it's just like this weird thing where it's just filled with frogs, and I feel like it's just you secretly cackling to yourself, like thinking that everyone is just like, what? As they open
like,
up the set.
I couldn't really believe that it was possible to do. And looking back, I'm very excited that there's so many frogs in the set. Yeah.
Unity in chat says, "We love it, Nick. The bonsai tree is absolutely riveting."
Oh, thank you.
So I got a question for you guys, so that to see if people know. I have two questions. So one of them is like, when was the Lego frog first introduced? So if you guys can figure out which set it was, extra points if you know the color. And how many different colors of Lego frogs are there? And we all know that that's like because of Nick, that there's so many colors now being added.
A little bit. I think I've made 3 colors so far.
Yeah.
Colors.
I think something like that.
Do you put that on your CV? I feel like that's a really good portfolio piece.
I should, yeah. The statistics, the very important statistics. How many frogs have I put into Lego set?
Yeah, I'd be really proud of that little fact. Thank you for sharing all this cool information. And chat, like, try to give us your best guess without Googling, although I can't actually guarantee that you guys would do that, but try your best. I would love to know if somebody actually knows this or owns the set that was first, where the frog was first introduced. I would love to know that. Take a picture of it and share it with us for sure, and use the LEGO Game Jam hashtag.
It may not come as a surprise that I own that set.
Of course you do.
I actually have no idea what set that is.
No?
Actually,
I can guess the color,
my
though.
My sister owns that set. It was fine.
I think I will have a really nice, educated guess for the color, but yeah. Oh, I might be wrong. Okay,
you might, maybe.
Okay.
All right, we'll see if anyone in chat gets it. But Anders, where are you at right now? Did you figure out the logic of your game?
But well, part of the game at least.
Part of the game, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So what I did, and also put in the Ring of Fire, just for the chat to know. I know it needs to look like it's flying, and right now I have this massive plain floor to look at. My intention is either at some point put it down, so it looks like some environment they are flying above, or simply just not have it. so it looks like it's flying in the air. The reason why I still have it is just for my own sanity's sake, so I can see what levels they're flying in. So at some point I will remove it and do something else. But yeah, I think I solved the logic. So right now what is happening is I have this counter brick on that destination that only gives me points if it's this green guy. So right now I have 0 points. And if I go towards this one, I get -20, 0, and then 20. I'll fix that at a later point. The important piece is that I actually got +20 in total to my score. If I send the... Oh no. Yeah.
I love that sound.
Yeah.
That means everything's working fine.
Yeah, it's working fine. Yeah. I can guide my flying elephants Okay, the game is a little bit difficult right now because they're spawning a lot. They can spawn next to each other, and every time they touch a brick, then my one thing I haven't shown is that I put a counter brick on the elephant itself as well. So when it explodes, I subtract points from the score. So every time elephants are flying into each other, you get minus score. And right now the game is really difficult. But I'll change that. I'll balancing it at a later point. But what I want to do now is that now I actually sort of only have a third of the game in terms of the flying objects. So I don't know, Nick, if you can help me with something that is not an elephant and something that is not an elephant and the other thing.
I can get you some placeholders. Awesome.
Because then I want to insert, I have a green, blue, and red flying thing. So I sort of have the core gameplay of my game. I think I want to reach this point now. But first I can prepare the other destinations. So one thing we want to change with the behavior bricks is that right now the only elegant way for me to make the logic I want is to actually have a counter brick for each type. So right now this one gives me a plus score if it's the one of the type, the elephant, and now I need to create one that gives me minus point and a minus point for the two other types. Little bit clunky, but it would work without any scripting. So I haven't created any scripts besides the one I've already showed that is controlling the planes. Everything else is being handled by these behavior bricks that I'm placing. I'll let you know if I need to create another script at some point, but I don't plan to do that. I think I'm gonna keep using just the behavior bricks. There we see. So Nick just sent me some files. Let me try to import that. See what we have. I'm importing. There's one called the boat.
Boat?
Yeah.
That's a boat.
That's a boat. Oh no. That looks a little bit messed up.
What happened to your boat?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The boat looked a little bit.
I
Oh
can
no.
make- Oh wow, that's funny. I can give you a different boat.
Yeah. Otherwise I need to sort of recreate it here.
We'll come back to the boat.
Yeah. We might need to come back to the boat. Yeah. So Nick, you only sent me a disassembled version of the boat, but that's fine. I can assemble it over here.
Oh, perfect. Yep, that's it. You did it. That's great.
Hey!
Yeah.
And almost. No instructions needed for
Nice.
this boat. Okay. So this is, so now I have an elephant and now I need to have this boat. So I think I'm just gonna, let's see what's the easiest way for me to do that. Just copy components over. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna spend some time in just creating I need to show the other one you sent. So there was a boat and then
A plane.
a plane. Let me import that. There we go. A red plane
Ooh.
with a nice tail fin. That's good.
It's progressing. Progressing.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna set those up. So I have a plane, boat, and flying elephant for the red, green, and blue destination.
Nice. So do you want to take a look at the destinations that Nick is building for us? Let's see what we have in store here.
Oh, I think I have a little bit more off the castle. I've actually been focusing on the elephant right now.
Ooh! Oh my
is there-
gosh!
A green elephant.
Oh, the elephant looks so cute.
He's got socks of some kind, I guess. Oh, like little trainer bands. And And I was thinking of like making like a pompadour to go on top.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm trying to find some arch pieces. So maybe I should search for an arch.
Our little Ellie is
this one
looking
looks good.
really good.
There
That's
you go.
perfect.
Some of that in there.
Yeah,
And
that's
then maybe
great.
some slopes in the back. That wouldn't work.
What does chat think of Ellie so far? Let us know. Meanwhile, Ben Davis did actually figure out when the Lego frogs were introduced in 2000. You're right. I don't know if you had the set, Ben, which was the Queen's Room. And the color is transparent green, which is really cool. I love all the transparent Lego pieces. They're the best. And then he even guessed that there were 11 known colors of Lego frogs.
I believe that is correct.
And Ben Davis also thinks you should include a frog somehow on the elephant.
Oh, yeah, I mean that. I mean, I could just have one riding on the back, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be the tail, maybe. Got a spot for a tail.
Yeah.
That works. Let's do that. Let's look for the frog.
Oh, you
Wait, I was-
actually
I
have.
was
Oh wow, you actually
there
have
it
the frog.
ready to go. I think it'd be kind of fun just on the back. He's just
Yeah.
a little friend.
Yeah. Oh my
Go
gosh,
for a ride.
that's so cute.
Did you just have the frog on speed dial, so you just had it ready?
No.
or-
Yeah.
No. It's very easy to, you just search for frog, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it showed up. There he is. Ready to go.
That's actually very adorable.
Let's make him pink. So he stands out. Does pink make sense? I mean, we could pick a color. If there's
Yeah.
any other colors that make sense, let us know.
Yes. Yeah. Let us know, chat, what color the frog should be on Ellie's back.
What color is an elephant's hair as well? That's also a... Normally they don't have this much hair. Figure out which makes most sense. Which I just kind of cool.
Ooh, yeah. So he matches the frog.
Yeah.
I like that. Unity in chat is asking if you have a frog hotkey on your keyboard.
I
Somebody
need to get one of those installed.
Yeah, somebody should make that for Nick. Somebody get a custom-made keycap with a little Lego frog on it.
Little frog button, and then I can
Yeah.
set up a macro for that to just insert a frog into whatever I'm building.
Yeah. That would be so funny.
That would be a very useful time-saving button, I think.
Yeah, perfect. That looks great. And he has a
All
great
right.
little tail. We have a little, so we have Ellie. Do you want to give that over to, are we ready to give that to Anders, or you want to see what he would do
I
with
think-
it?
I think he's pretty ready to go. And is it possible to get eyeball decorations in the game?
Yeah, definitely. So for that, we need to do it a little manually, because when you import the models, we unfortunately at this point don't have the decorations, the actual eyeball, but we can do it manually. Let's do that.
Fantastic. All right, I'll send you over an elephant.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
I have a question for both of you from Mark Thornson in chat. It's like, do LEGO employees get to choose a LEGO set every month as a perk? And if so, do they need a pen tester?
Well, Lego, we have access to Lego, but no, not every month or something like that. That would be nice. Though.
We do get sets occasionally. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so the sets that I work on, I usually get a copy of the set for myself. But then occasionally we get other sets just to build and just to try out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, like, I remember Erasmus was like, I was talking to him about sets and he was like, oh yeah, let me go into the Lego set room where I can just pick the ones that I need. And I was like, wait, what? There's a whole room where you just go, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, your job is cool.
If we ever need a Lego set, we definitely can just go and get one. But if I just need that Lego set for my house at home, then I have to buy the Lego set.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. There you go, guys. Even the LEGO employees have to buy their own sets. Nice. So, okay, there's a lot of things happening with you and...
Oh, we are on my screen. Yeah. So Yeah. So while I'm testing, I really don't want to wait for the spawn bricks to spawn the different the 3 different planes. So now it's just a little bit chaotic, but it I can move things around and these shouldn't collide at minus points. So I think I'm slowly getting to a point where the game works somewhat. I need to balancing it because it's incredibly difficult right now.
You sound so confident.
Well, yeah, I think we can get there.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I think I'll need to remove the ring of fire while I'm testing because I'm constantly dying if I touch them.
Oh yeah. Do you need a smaller ring of fire? Or...
Yeah, I think it might be a bad idea to have you as a player guide them through the ring of fire. I think that is too difficult. So.
A bit too narrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe if it could be I don't know, thing you have to just avoid, not necessarily fly through.
Because everybody needs to avoid the rings of fire, right? It's not just the elephant.
That is true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it could just be something spiky, or I don't know if chat's got any ideas of what would be just a generally applicable thing to avoid.
Yeah. And
what do you think, Chad? What do elephants try to avoid?
But also boats and planes also try to avoid them.
But that also boats and planes.
Yeah.
I think earlier Andrew suggested mice, which I thought would be really funny, actually, to just have Lego mice.
I mean, planes shouldn't be going for the mice kind of thing. Like,
yeah. It's
still going to be like inconvenient for them. So kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh. It looks so cute.
They're in.
Yeah, I'll get to the eyeballs at some point, but now I just need to make it, work again. So, Nick, I have 2 options. I can either embed the behavior bricks into the model or use them, where they are not visible. Do you have a preference?
They could go into the legs, couldn't they?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Extra long socks.
Yeah. So the behavior bricks, I think especially for this stream and also for my own sake, it's really great that I can actually see them. But you also can, if you don't want to have a 2x2 brick on your model, then you can also just attach the script that does it the same thing. But that's a good idea, Nick, to actually have them in the legs. So.
You're welcome. I definitely thought of that when I was making the legs. Yes, thanks for that.
This is actually a question that came up a lot when we were doing the ideas contest. Like, many people were trying to not break the immersion of their game. And so they wanted to always know how to hide the bricks. In this case, This is a really good way to do it. But Anders, you just explained, if you wanted to, there's different ways to do it.
Exactly. I don't know why this is being annoying right now. Okay. Yeah.
I guess from an art style for some of the models that are like in the example games, just like working it into the aesthetic as well, kind of like is possible. Like either like you just build it bigger so there's spots to just like put it in the back. But then if it's a square simple thing, then the behavior bricks can kind of just look like they're meant to be there, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I kind of like the constraints. I think this is why we saw so many great games during the ideas contest, is because there are all these like different constraints and you can get very creative, right? Like I personally always really like that as a designer, like just having very rigid rules at the beginning or something. You just think of really fun.
Focus in on ideas that you might not have gotten to in the first place.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that I actually find it really overwhelming when you have unlimited possibilities. I find it very hard to like narrow down ideas. So I actually like these kind of things a lot. Oh, this is looking great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm actually
now that everything's
pleasantly surprised that it's somewhat working.
guys asked for a more natural and spontaneous way of doing these game jams, so we're giving it to you, faults and all. Like, I think that's part of the game dev process too, is like doing things, it doesn't work, going back, trying other things. Some things don't work and now it's cool, so you keep it. You know, that's how it really happens.
Yeah. What am I going to do with this?
I feel like in the same vein, I'm trying to build a plane and add some more detail to it. So I was like, well, what if to be more consistent with the models and no other reason, I added a frog to the plane. So he's driving now.
Oh wait, I want to see. Show us.
And I think that helps give me more context for like what I'm building. Like I need a little space for him to sit and a little windshield to keep him safe from the wind.
Nice. Let's go take a look at Nick's screen. I want to see. Like, I want to show chat. this little frog. It's so cute.
It's just going. So maybe I need some engines as well on the back. That's what planes have, right? Yeah. There we go. Some big engines. Got 2 of those in there.
Looks amazing.
It's really nice with in studio, like once you've got a brick in the scene, that you can then sort of just grab it from another part and then start adding it in.
Okay,
it's faster
nice.
to sort of build up a palette of common pieces that you're using.
Yeah. Nice.
In there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Can we see the little? Oh yeah, that looks so good. And the frog is.
He's at the helm.
It's your little golden frog.
Oh yeah, yep. Oh, I've got a.
Have you put a frog in all of them? That's brilliant.
Yeah, he should put a frog in all of them.
Yep. I've got a little frog.
Of course, Nick just has an actual golden frog.
He can just keep me company. Let's see. Gold. This one's the gold frog. There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Are there actually metallic colors for Lego pieces? I've never seen any metallic colors, actually.
We've got, so there's sort of 2 kind of gold colors. There's like a pearl sort of plasticky gold color, and then also a drum lacquer gold where there's sort of a special like metallic treatment that's been done onto the brick. So we have a pearl gold frog, but we don't have a metallic gold frog.
Yeah.
Yet.
Number 12. Nice. Wow, that's really coming along. That looks really cute. That looks really great, actually. I love it. The frog is everywhere. Yes, Brink, 2011. The point is, we started off with frogs. That's just the way it's going to be now.
Yeah.
A golden poison dart frog. Yeah, there should be a whole Lego poison frog series. I'd be super into that with like all kinds of crazy colors.
There's a lot of different kinds of frogs. Did you know that there's not a pink frog? Pink frogs aren't real. So in the Bonsai Tree, that's definitely like, it's not frogs because the pink frogs aren't pink.
Mm-hmm.
Blossoms.
Of course. Enders,
Yeah.
how's it going on your end?
It is actually going pretty well. So I'm just setting up the last destination. So I need to keep track of this. So this one should add, and this one should. Okay. So I think right now I actually have the game logic sort of overall. So if I press play, I have these 3 destinations. I have my 3 flying types, the elephant spawning right there. And if I guide that to this place, I should get a plus score. But if I guide it to the other 2, so I should get a minus score.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. And then I still have to do something about my spawn brick. They are currently also an obstacle. So I have to go up. Plane spawned. So I got a minus score. So this one should hopefully go down there. This one should go over here. Got a score.
Somebody in chat says, yes, please, more fun frog facts would be appreciated. I'm glad that you guys were prepared for this because we had no other content. So
Oh no. Yeah, so it's somewhat working. It's tricky. Right now, the most difficult part of my game is that they can spawn at any place, meaning that I can be guiding Ellie towards this one, and then suddenly, this happens where another one spawns, so I have to stop that one and then guide that one in, and then move that one back again. Whoop. Which is kind of the hope for the game, that I could do exactly that. So that, oh no, yeah. But I think to finish actually the overall sort of game loop of the game, I actually need a win condition, right? Because right now I can just play for infinity, and the only thing that can sort of break my game is actually performance. When there is 1,000 elephants and my machine cannot keep up anymore. So I should actually set up some proper win conditions. And for that, I'm actually just gonna use... we have a win brick. This one.
Nice.
Yeah, that was easy. So if I press play...
I actually didn't know that was a behavior brick, so that's pretty great.
Yeah, so I just need to press play now, and... Woohoo! Then I won.
Nice.
Yay! Congratulations me. Not the intended behavior. Now I'm just winning every time.
That's my ideal game.
Yeah. No, because again, the behavior bricks, there's also this little sign saying, hey, you can put a win brick in without any triggers to it, but that means that your game is very short. So right now I'm actually gonna base it on score. So I'm keeping a score on every time I successfully guide a elephant, plane, or boat to the right destination. So I should simply just reach a certain score, and then I win. So I have a counter trigger where I can select my variable score, and then I can simply just say greater than or less than or equal to. I'm just saying if my score is greater than 200, for instance, then I win. And now I have a win condition in my game.
Yeah, very simple.
Very simple. I just have to type it. So title, guide, stuff, 200, and you win. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So if I press play. Yeah, then I have my objectives in the upper left corner, and hopefully when I reach 200, I'm winning. Oh no, another elephant. Oop, that plane is... This one is going down there.
There's so many things spawning.
Yeah, but...
oh, you got it. You can do it.
I have to fix that the elephants are spawning much faster than they should. But...
Elephants, usually take longer to spawn in than that, right? It's not very realistic right now.
No, I definitely have to fix that, because it's definitely out of balance in terms of the amount of elephant versus the other stuff.
So is that something you can easily change, the number of elephants that are spawning?
Yeah, so what is happening is that I think it's simply copy-paste error. So right now, this is my free spawners, where the first one is the elephant, second one is the boat, and the third one is the plane. So this one is spawning between 0 and 5 seconds, and the other ones are between 10 and 30 seconds. So that means, that the first one, being the elephant, is spawning at least every 5 seconds, and the other ones every, worst case, 30 seconds. So that's why there's a lot more elephants. So just quickly changing that to 10 and 30 like the other two. Now it should be a little bit more balanced, hopefully.
Nice. Let's take a look.
And now we have to wait at least 10 seconds.
Yeah.
For something to happen.
Yeah. So Derek Reese in chat says, fun frog fact, Nick has designed 9 or more Lego sets containing frogs. Is that true?
I don't know. That sounds correct. Sounds true.
You're not keeping track.
I'm not. I It's difficult to keep track.
And Noel in chat says, this is my first time catching one of these live streams. I'm so glad I did. And is there a schedule anywhere so I can make sure to make it back again, or are they pretty ad hoc? So we do these streams every 3 or so months. And the idea is that we're going to be teaching you constantly about how to use the LEGO Microgame to make your own game. There's a lot of transferable skills that you can learn in the microgame to do other things. And maybe actually we can go to our next info cycle with Anders, because we could talk about the LEGO Ideas Contest. The point is to teach you guys how to make games so that you can eventually submit to the LEGO Ideas Contest. And we just had one. It was very, very successful. For those who don't know, we had over 1,150 submissions, which was about 10 times more submissions than we were ever expecting to ever play. I definitely did not play another LEGO game for a couple months just to like cleanse my brain of LEGO games. But yeah, like, what did you tell us what you thought about the contest as a judge and as someone who created the microgame? Like, did you ever expect that it would become that big?
No, not at all. And that has been, it was so much fun and so much enjoyment to just go through all the games, right? There was a lot, like you said, over 1,000 games as entries in the competition. So there's a lot to go through, but I think what I was most surprised with was the amount of variety we saw in the games, and just the overall quality and how they have really use the systems in sort of mind-boggling different ways. So now I have sort of we have given them the tools, and seeing how they can sort of bend that and use that in different ways was really, really fun. It was also awesome to see sort of, for instance, let's say Odyssey, which is one of the winners, which is just a love letter to classic space. So it was really, really easy to see that was definitely a fan of LEGO that has that knows the knowledge on classic space and has that has a special place in that person's heart. So that was also really, really cool to see.
Yeah. It was a really fun contest. Every single person that submitted a game actually won a LEGO minifigure. And again, before anyone asks me, yes, you can get your LEGO minifigure. All the codes should have already went out to anyone who submitted. But I think there's going to be, can we hint at the fact that there's probably going to be more on the horizon for the LEGO Ideas Contest?
Yeah, well, it goes without saying, this was this surprised us in terms of the interest, the entries, amount of entries, and also just the output, the awesome quality. So obviously we will want to do that again, and try it to make it a little bit different the next time. But cannot share anything now, but definitely more on that later, because we definitely want to keep that momentum and see what else you guys can come up with of awesome creations. And
I think we have to give better. I mean, I thought the prizes were really cool. We gave away a lot of cool stuff, but we wanted to really up it for you guys. We want to give even better prizes. So I think you guys need to start cracking. Those who didn't get a chance to submit the last time, this is your chance. You can start practicing. You can actually submit your game to this game jam, actually. And I will be playing the games in a month's time. Maybe Nick and Anders can rejoin me so we can watch them play the games and they can judge. You'll probably get extra brownie points if you put frogs in your games, just an FYI. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we'll put that as one of the rules, that you have to have a frog in the game. But I think that would, And then I will also be giving away LEGO minifigures during that game jam. So in chat, we can throw the showcase page. So you have a whole month. Make a game using this game jam live stream with us. And then we'll see you in a month, and we'll be streaming the games on Twitch. Ooh, can we hint at what the theme of the next LEGO Ideas Contest is? Does anyone have a clue? Can you give us a hint?
So last time I tried, the clue was terrible and you guys laughed at me. So I don't know.
No, it's a good clue.
Not really. There are some... it's working with colorful characters.
It's a theme that I've worked on before.
That's also good. Yeah,
that's a good one. It's a theme that Nick has worked on before.
Yeah.
That's all we can say for now. So I hope you guys get excited. Can't wait to see this in the conspiracy theory forums of Lego.
But Nick, I could really use. Have you made Billund Airport that the plane can land in?
I can get you a castle.
Okay.
But I can also get you a placeholder airport.
Okay.
All right, let's go take a look at the airports that Nick has made. Wow! Look at that.
I've been working on. So you've got a castle, a fog castle.
Nice.
For the fog boat to be going towards.
Oh my
I
god!
think I still want to add a few more details onto this, like some oars on the side. But that's where they're going. I've done nothing on the airport yet. But I can
there's a control tower. That's something.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it should be mostly just empty space for the plane to land, right? Like,
Well,
it's quite a big plane.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know how planes work, right? Should there be a runway?
Preferably a runway. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can try and figure that out.
Yeah. He's only here to make the models. He doesn't need to know how it actually needs to work in real life. That's your job, Anders.
That's Anders, yeah. Anders is going to make it actually work.
But can you send over the castle and boat? Or then I can try to put that in.
I'll get those over to you.
Awesome. Then.
So X Thunder starting today, it's 1 month exactly from now. So the due date for the games, the Game Jam, LEGO Game Jam Showcase is going to be the 20th of June. So you have a whole month.
You can definitely, I think the last time, so surprised of the level of quality. So I'm curious to see what happens in this one.
Yeah, so we had the top selections. Some of those people, it was their first time ever opening up Unity. So I was really shocked, actually. We were really I think we were really expecting, just really cute, nice variations of the LEGO Microgame. But people went and full on made just a sheer breadth of games that I couldn't even. These are LEGO fans are just naturally game developers, essentially.
There we go. I think I have something to work with here.
All right, let's go check out what Anders is doing then. Where are you going to put the castle?
Yeah, so hopefully I can, with a little bit of trickery, just replace my model over here. Just make this bigger. There we go. So this should be my my castle, right? So this blue part should be the castle. Let me actually go back to this plane. Then it's easier to see what I'm doing here. And move this down again. Okay, so this one should be replaced with the castle. So I'm gonna when replacing a model, it would override anything that is attached to it. So I'm just gonna save my behavior bricks and put them there. Select my temple, this one. Oh, this one is actually part of that one. So I'm just gonna.
Oh, you need to move it out into its own.
Yeah, because okay, I actually need to do it differently. So I'm just gonna do it like this, and then import the castle.
Perfect.
Yep.
I'm excited to see it in action.
There we go. Then I'm just gonna 180 it.
Oh yeah. Oh, should I switch the direction around?
No, that's fine. I can just rotate it in Unity.
Ah, super.
Yeah. So there's the castle, and you have made it so I can just neatly hide my my bricks in the castle. Thanks for that.
It's definitely on purpose. Just wasn't that I hadn't put anything in the back yet. Yep.
There we go.
Perfect.
I have my castle here.
Nice.
This one I'm just gonna hide for. And then you also gave me the airport. Let me just fix that as well. Gonna quickly save my bricks. And get rid of that one. And import the airport. Whoops.
Oh, what happened
Try
to
that
your
again. Yeah, sometimes if you import a Lego model and it's being imported into another Lego model, it can be a little bit... the result can be interesting.
Okay.
so my tip is always to move into some empty space when you import the model, because then you know that everything goes as expected.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So are you going to put those behavior bricks just directly on top of the runway?
Yeah. Well, for now at least. Maybe. Ooh, the control tower could be made out of the bricks, right? Because then they are hidden. Then they are part of the control tower.
Yeah, totally.
That would be a nice way of hiding them.
All right, I'll make sure to leave those square bricks in there.
Yeah. It'll be a pretty tall tower because I will use 6 bricks to do
Okay.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can add those in.
Okay. Then let's see if it still works. Oh, I died. So one thing I forgot, I was in the middle of, I was caught up with Nick's awesome design. So the last thing I actually did before changing these models was to put in a loose brick, but I didn't put any trigger to it. So every time I press play, I just lose the game. The same as what happened with the wind brick.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So, and I don't have time now to. So my intention was that you lose the game when too many flying objects are on the level. I might get around to that later, but
Okay.
For now I'll just delete it so you cannot lose at this point.
Okay, perfect. That's okay
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, maybe later.
Yeah. Nice. So I think that's that part of the stream where we're going to take a teeny little break so we can go refresh our drinks and get more candy and snacks. And it gives Nick and Andrew some time to get more of the game going. So let me know what you guys in chat are going to get. We'd love to know what everyone's eating, where they are. A lot of times people are eating dinner in like really cool places. Last chat, somebody brought like goat curry. I was really jealous. So
Goat curry. Okay.
to the chat.
Where all the goats went.
Yeah. So we're going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be right back. See you guys soon.
The LEGO Microgame.
Hello. And we're back, everyone.
Yay!
Yay. We had a lot of discussions in the background about what's going to happen next. I think we're almost at the end of our game, guys. I'm kind of excited. Now we're deciding what should go around a little oasis. I'm excited to see. I'm looking at.
Naturally, the frog should go in the oasis.
Yeah, and on a cute little lily pad. That'd be great.
Maybe some trees and crocodiles and stuff should also be there.
I agree, totally. So for those who don't know, you're catching us right almost at the end of this game jam. Welcome. This is your first game jam, the LEGO Microgame Edition. We're here with Anders and Nick from LEGO. We're trying to build a flying elephant obstacle frog thing. Yeah. I think we're at that point of the game where we're going to have to start finding a title for this game so we can market it. Chat, marketing geniuses in chat. What is the name of this game? What are we calling it? What are we publishing it as? And as you know, this is the game jam, so you guys should be following along with us. And in a month's time, we would love it if you actually submit your game to the LEGO Game Jam Showcase for a chance to win a Lego minifigure, an exclusive Lego Unity minifigure, actually, that Lego made especially for us. So now it can be exclusively yours as well. So let's get into. Oh, there's a lot of things going on. Let's go take a look at Anders' screen. What are you making right now?
Yeah, I'm over the moon excited to get these models in because now I have the castle. Looks great. Now I also have the airport with the golden frog airport.
Oh my god, this is so good! I love it.
Nick, I took the liberty of having one of the frogs sort of standing in the end of the runway because
on the runway just to guide them in.
Exactly. Because you didn't include enough lights, puppy lights, to see the height, and I thought the frog could help with that, so I put them there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going for realism in this game, obviously.
Of course.
You are the expert.
Yeah.
And then I also included the new plane, which is awesome. There we go. Just turning off the gizmos.
Nice.
So we have this cool plane.
It's like a rocket-powered biplane.
Yeah.
For those who didn't catch at the beginning, Anders is very opinionated about all things that take flight.
So I wanted to make it as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
Hence the frog as the main pilot.
Well, he's going to his airport, right? So,
yeah.
And then this one, the frog boat. I also imported that one, and I think, having tested it, I haven't tested it yet, but let me try. That right now I should have the proper elephant, proper boat, proper plane, spawning between 5 and 30 seconds randomly, and then I have to guide them to the destinations and get a score, hopefully. There's
Simple.
the boat. Should go over there. Need to be careful that nothing else spawns. Oh, another boat.
Yep.
Okay, the boat doesn't work. Oh, okay. Brilliant.
Wait, what's happening? Your boats are just...
and I won. Okay. That's how game dev is. I have no idea what happened. But apparently my boat was accumulating a lot of high score, but it didn't explode for some reason.
Oh, so it was just going there and then getting a point for going there, and then it gets more points for going there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That
sounds like some kind of fraud, I think.
Yeah. So let me
Only
check at
1
the boat
point
what
boat.
I have forgotten. I think I have an idea. Actually. Yes, I assume so. So I placed the touch trigger in the boat that should result in it exploding. But it's currently sensing a player, and that doesn't exist in my game. So I need to change that to bricks so it can actually be destroyed. So that was my mistake.
Nice.
That it was looking for something that would never happen, and thereby not exploding. So now it should work. But before I do that, I really want the last destination in. I know Nick is working on it, but I can just, have it as a temporary destination. So we'll import the watering hole. There we go. So we just have the proper destination ready instead of my green template. Boom. There we go.
I think chat is gonna really like what Nick made for the watering hole. It looks really cute.
Okay, let's switch over. That will be fun. I would love to see.
Do we want to see it? Are you
I
ready?
really want to see it.
All right, so I determined that we're using sort of a special palette here in Studio, which you can sort of install into Studio using some online documentation. That is a specific set of bricks that we currently support in the microgame. So with that selected, unfortunately, we don't have a crocodile piece supported in there. However, we do have scorpions. So I've got 2 little scorpions in here. The watering hole is obviously commanded by the frog in charge. Got some rocks and then some trees on the side. which the trees, I guess, could have behavior bricks stashed away in them.
Nice.
I like that.
Yep,
Love it.
That's what it's looking like.
It's so funny. Somebody in chat, Veldarg asked, like, are there no bugs that the frogs can eat? I'm like, have you not seen all the bugs in the game since the beginning?
Hey.
And here's some great suggestions for titles. Derek Reese thinks Lego Amphibian Arranger should be one of the titles.
Oh, that's good.
Unity thinks it should be Elon Tusk Riveting Adventures. And then what Veldarg also suggested, Untitled Frog Game. Very simple. I kind of like how minimalist that is, actually.
I like that. That's great.
Perfect. Thank you. So I love the little frog on the lily pad. I want one.
So I think, Nick, do you want to show just the obstacles you made? Because I'm actually going to put them in now, I think.
Oh yeah, so I've got a cactus, I guess. Do you have a newer cactus?
I have a cactus. Let me see which one it is.
Cactus.
Let me import. Cactus. Yeah, I have.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That cactus.
Got that cactus. I think I want to make it a little bit more cactusy. Maybe by adding like some spikes on the side or something. But that's the general shape of it, right?
You know what? Those obstacles should actually be the spawners. That would make a lot of sense. And then you also don't have the spawners in my scene you can fly into. So I'll actually embed the spawners into your cactus.
Okay.
That will actually work quite well, I think.
These are cacti from which planes boats and elephants come from.
Obviously.
They have to come from somewhere. That makes sense. Cool.
There we go. Now.
Nice. So we can go take a look at Anders and see how he has the two types of obstacles.
Yep.
And you can essentially just put the behavior brick in there.
Yeah, so I took the cactus and placed them in, and the other one, and put them in. And I don't know, Nick, was there a third one? A third obstacle? I can't remember.
Oh, do you, yeah, we can just have 3 different kinds of cacti. Yep.
Yeah, because we have 3 different spawn things.
Perfect. I can do that.
Brilliant. So I think I'm going to do the very last bit of my game, and that is a loose condition. I really want to have a loose condition. And that is the amount of flying things, boat, planes, and elephants in my scene. So if you have too many in the scenes, you essentially die or lose the game. So I need to have another counter. And I think on the spawn NOS, I actually want to introduce a third action, a counter. So when it's spawning, in this case, it's spawning the plane. Whoops. Then it should add up a new variable I just called flying things. So whenever it spawns one of these, it will add to the flying things counter. So when I will then have a loose brick over here with a counter trigger, looking at the flying things, and if that is greater than, let's say, 10, then I lose. I think that would work.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to rewrite the text. And I don't have it in the UI. I need that. So the player can see how many planes they have. Okay. There we go. There we go. So flying things 0, and my score is 0. So hopefully when I spawn this one, I think that's the elephant spawning here. When that spawns, then hopefully the flying thing should count upwards. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. One elephant spawning. Now I just need to do it for the others. Yeah, that should work.
Nice. That Dragon Track asked a good question. It's like, does there really need to be a lose condition or just the feeling of failure in general? So why do we want to add a lose condition? Actually, that's a kind of a good question, like in terms of why you would add that.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm coming from the more technical side of it and not necessarily the game design part of it, because I know the game would, if you didn't do anything, at some point the game would just crash because it would spawn infinite amount of elephants, boats, in frogs in general. So the frogs will simply take over my computer and crash it. So that's why I
it would
sort of wanted
all of the different bits.
Yeah, but he's right. The user is right that doesn't have to be a lose condition.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. So I think what we need now is, I think I'm gonna keep this plane because it looks weird. It's just like this, doesn't it?
Yeah. So now it's actually going to look like it's flying.
Yeah. Kind of like it, actually. Let's see when stuff spawns.
Should we also change the color of the background a little bit so it feels more moody or matches some of the spaces?
Definitely. Oh, need to give room for my frog. There we go.
Whoa.
Oh, and my elephant needs to go over there. Up.
Nice. Looks like it's working.
Yeah, I actually think. Oh no, this one. Nope, I touched the obstacle. It's actually pretty difficult. Okay, move away so I can have this one go around. Touched it. Oh.
You made it really
Can you
difficult.
just space everything out a little bit more?
Yeah, I probably should because there's not enough room to. What is this guy doing? That seems like cheating, that plane.
He's just chilling. He's just chilling.
All right. Okay. I don't know why that. Okay. I think I need to space it out a little bit and then see if I can set a more moody background.
Yeah.
And then get the, I don't know, Nick, if you have the watering hole at hand and a third obstacle, because I think then we are soon done, actually.
I've just about got it there.
So Young Scott actually made a comment. You made the colliders and hitboxes too accurate. And this is actually something that Ashley encountered when she was doing this last time too. About how you can actually, I think you can actually set like how accurate the colliders are or how like sensitive they are, right?
Yeah, you definitely can. So the thing is that, and I probably should change that. I don't think I have time now, but if I go to my, for instance, my plane, what I'm using is the touch trigger. So that means that it's actually colliding by actually touching the bricks. And you could make that more, generous by having a box or sphere collider that give a little bit more room so they could actually don't have to touch. It doesn't matter if they touch a little bit, then they won't collide. So yes, I could also have used the nearby trigger instead of the touch trigger, and then simply setting the radius of the nearby trigger to be smaller, so they have to be really close to each other before they exploded. But yeah, right now it's the touch trigger, and honestly, the boat is the worst one because it's so long. So when it turns, it's quite easy for it to hit something,
smash everything.
Yeah, so I might change that to a nearby trigger, and then only have sort of the center of it as the radius.
Right.
So you can actually turn it without colliding.
Yeah.
That would definitely be an improvement, I think, for gameplay.
Yeah. So Nick, look, what's your little watering hole look like? That's a weird sentence, sorry.
I actually have it.
Here it is. It's got some flies in it now, and a little bit of ground below it. So it looks like it should be flying.
Oh, wow. That looks great.
So yep. And then I think I've got some different cacti here, which I don't know if that's how it's working in the game end, is that the different colored frogs could indicate which thing is coming from it.
Oh, that's brilliant, Nick.
So you've got
That is brilliant.
Things getting the elephant,
Yes.
green things getting the watering hole.
Yeah.
This frog, I'm just realizing, should be pink for consistency.
That is
Correct
perfect.
that.
Yeah, that looks great. We're just going way too far with the frog thing.
And yeah, so I've just got a slight update to all of them so that they look like they're floating. If that's visible from the camera angle, maybe.
Maybe let's
Let's try it out.
just updating the watering hole. Oops. There we go. And then delete the old one.
So just a reminder, chat, that everything is being recorded here, so don't worry. We have a game jam going on. The game jam will run until next month, as in you can submit your games to the LEGO Showcase. Unity, if you can just throw something into chat so that people know where to submit their games. It's on Unity Play, the same place that for those who participated in LEGO Ideas Contest participated. If you submitted a game during the LEGO Ideas Contest or you didn't get to submit in time, please do so for this game jam. You can also get a chance to win a minifigure. I would love to hand some out to people. And I know there's a lot of people who didn't get their games in time, so I just want to be able to give you all a chance. And I think this is a good time for you to practice because we'll have the next ideas contest coming up most likely by the end of the year. So, And if anyone is sharing any cool, is already making something along with us, make sure you share it on Twitter. Use the hashtag LEGO Game Jam so that we can reshare it and show the rest of the LEGO team. Nice. So looks like Nick has sent you everything.
Yes, and what I have done is that I have put in the new watering hole that is floating. Looks awesome.
Cool.
And now I'm just setting up the obstacles with the cool callouts to what kind of...
Which goes where.
Which goes where, exactly, with the pink, gold, and green frogs.
Nice.
So that is already pretty cool, I think. I just need the two others. Importing the green one. Beautiful.
Cool. We can go take a look at what Anders is doing now. Adding everything is going to come together.
Green was boat, wasn't it, Nick?
Yes. Yep.
Green boat, yeah.
Yep. Green frog is blue boat.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is there blue frogs? I actually don't know. Is there?
No, unfortunately not. Not yet. Are there blue frogs in real life? There could be.
Yeah,
I think there are. Yeah.
I think there are.
Yeah, they're like some cool jungle frogs.
09 Mr. Bubbles has a question for you, Nick. Do you dream in Lego?
Sometimes when you're like walking around, just around the area, it'd be like looking at a building, and you'd be like, that detail could be made really nicely with a Lego piece.
Oh my God.
And then that thing kind of looks like this wheel arch or something.
Nice.
And certainly when you're like working on a Lego model, and then you go home in the evening, you're still kind of thinking about it. So sometimes you might wake up in the middle of the night with like the solution to something that you had been trying to figure out how to solve. You're like, these are the pieces I need to make it. But then when you wake up, you realize that those pieces don't exist, or it just doesn't actually work at all. You were just dreaming that you found the solution, and then you're just back to square one.
That's actually a really great time for our last info cycle, which is I wanted to ask you about the microgame and what you did. We had asked Anders before, Rasmus, but we actually never talked to a designer who worked on the LEGO microgame. And you had so much cool behind the scenes stuff that you worked on. So we'd love to know or see some of that.
Yeah, so I guess last year I had the pleasure of working with the LEGO Games team on developing this microgame. And so between us and Unity, we were kind of like bouncing back and forth, like what could the theme be for sort of the initial levels that you see in it. So I did a lot of concept exploration for that, I guess, and that was really fun. So like this is sort of some of the things that we were doing early, where I was sort of looking at like what could it be, sort of an island kind of theme, where you've got all sorts of different things. So I did a few sketches. Did some sort of like color studies of like what kind of colors could we use if like maybe the things in the background are more subdued and then the Lego things that you interact with are more vibrant colors. And it kind of went sort of evolving and then started making like some fun like brick built characters that you could interact with.
Wait, we have to go back. That was Legolem. The character from our last game jam.
Oh yeah, he's just in there.
Yeah.
The classic Lego character, and he made his way all the way through. So we had like some different big built things, but I think some of these are sort of like what you see in the game. They've just been sort of adjusted a little bit, sometimes just for the particular bricks that they're using. So Dr. Pato made it all the way through, and then into the placeholder section of the game. We've got some like animals.
I love these. I love the little danger noodle. He looks so great.
Like a little snake of some kind. It was really fun working on like making some of these creatures, because like I was trying to use as few bricks as possible, and trying to make like sort of a small static thing that reads quite well, and then using using as less bricks because of the digital restraint of like if you have too many complex shapes and curved shapes, then it can start to get heavier on computers. So for improved performance, I was trying to use like just square bricks as much as possible. So unfortunately, the danger noodle snake had to go. It's a little bit too taxing on performance.
Really? He's such a simple shape, though. That's so funny.
So we've got some more animals here, and then just the little NPCs that you see in the game as well. I'm just calling them brickbots. And then we also just exploring like even what kind of eyes should they have. I think we ultimately went with just like little transparent studs. It's nice and simple and easy to kind of get going, because there's no extra decorations in there.
Yeah, that looks great. Thank you for sharing that. Did you? So are you going to continue working on the microgame? What you're working on the next? Of course, you're working on some of the next like things that we'll be introducing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean we've got some stuff right here, and yeah, it's really fun to keep coming back to like make a couple of more models to some different themes and such. So yeah, looking forward to making new things as well.
Have you tried any of the games from the ideas contest yet?
Unfortunately not. I haven't had the chance to yet, but I'm definitely eager to see what people have been making from this game jam.
Awesome, because it's
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I know that you make a lot more like physical sets for people and like you see their reactions to that, but I would love to know how someone like you is reacting to this new generation of like Lego people who are just making virtual things or digital things, because that was one of the comments from the ideas contest was that it was kind of refreshing to do something that was like more digital and they can share with people and people can actually play it and stuff like that. So I think it's a completely different experience to see your game like that.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's cool to like be able to like tie in the kind of game mechanics with then like a couple of small models that then make a whole new theme kind of thing.
Yeah, people are very creative.
Package.
Yeah, exactly. Lego, I'm just really surprised. Like I think some of them are even more ingenious or just they just have the brain like set up to do really, really fun, creative things with Unity and Lego. So I'm excited for you to actually come back and play some of the games that you're teaching everyone to do right now.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Nice. Anders, what's going on with you? Are you getting... Oh, it's happening.
Stuff is definitely happening. And I really appreciate the flying aspects of these because now I can just hide the behavior bricks underneath
Nice.
the destinations.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, everything Nick does is on purpose,
Find
right?
out, yep.
Yeah. Oops. So yeah, I think I'm at a pretty good... I actually decided on going with the blue color because it's the same as in our building instructions. So I just felt there was some, cool Lego look to it now. And then I cleaned it up so it looks brighter, more vibrant. That was just the look I wanted to go for. And let's see, the water hole. Looking good. Yeah, I think we have...
I think it's almost ready.
Yeah. I think it works. Let's see if I can actually win my game.
No.
Yeah, so we have the...
We've had this issue every single time we've done a game jam.
Well,
having us actually play through the game is a real struggle.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we got an elephant.
Yeah, and it spawned right next to the plane with...
Okay, yep.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, there's a boat that's just off camera.
Oh no.
And yeah, okay, good.
I got it.
Okay.
Elephant, go to the watering hole. Boat. No, elephant. Watering hole. What is going on? There's something completely off with this one right now. Oh. It's spawning underneath everything. Huh. Okay.
Also, it's just too low down.
When the both of you make that noise, it's like,
Do you need the plane in there? The flat plane, like, is that required for it to, like...
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, so the flat plane looking good, and then going to the navigation thing. Oh, yeah, that one is completely messed up, so I might need to bake that again. Might have been the issue.
So Blue Hoop asked a good question. I think we've talked about it a couple of times. I'm not sure if it's something that you're thinking about, which is like, he asked for tips and tricks to optimize the game, but it is something that you guys are thinking about for the next iteration of the microgame, right?
Exactly, and we actually, I wanted to show that as well. Like, let me actually just quickly show why it didn't work before, because I'm pretty sure it's because my spawn brick. Select the gizmos. Yeah, it can spawn underneath sort of this area. So that's why it's spawning below the ground. So I just need to lift it up for all of them. But yeah, I actually want to spend the last few minutes to look at the performance, because I think that's really important when you make a game right. And we actually made some tools that has been hidden a little bit away, not necessarily deliberately. It's just something we didn't got around to make proper tutorials for and share. So just confirming that it now works as intended again. Yay! My game works again. Yay! The plane, go to the airport.
We were doing it on purpose, just so you guys can figure out how to make the same mistakes.
Yeah, so now it actually works, and I got 80 points, and I just need up to 200, and then I win.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yay.
I'm pretty happy about this gameplay. That works.
Yeah.
Looking good.
All right, so performance. Now it's a little bit tricky because there is the behavior bricks, but what you do is that you take a model, like let's take the castle over here. So on the left side right side with all the behavior bricks, you would think that this is sort of the place where you could do everything with the Lego model. That's not necessarily the case, so that's why it's a little bit hidden. So if you look over in the hierarchy, you have this main model underneath all the Lego models you have imported. There's this group called main model, or game object called main model. And on that one, you have this processing functionality hidden all the way in the bottom part, where you can actually remove hidden bricks. All the knobs and tubes that a Lego brick consists of can also be removed if they are not visible because they are connected to other bricks. So you can turn all that different kind of optimization on. Then you can press process, and then you actually optimize the entire model and removes every vertices that is not visible to the player, and therefore not needed. And then it performs much better because you have reduced maybe 60% of your vertices. So yeah, that is a way to do it. But again, we probably should make a sort of a tutorial describing it, because it's a little bit hidden, because you really have to click the main model game object and not the overall game object of the Lego model you imported.
Yeah, but that's a great actually little feature. And now I'm excited to see what people are going to build, because it's going to solve a lot of the performance issues that they were having last time.
Because one of the things that hides is just all of the extra studs, right? That are not being seen. And I guess those curved studs have a lot of extra vertices on them that all adds up. Yeah,
exactly. So for instance, if you take this this airport, then this brick... oops. Why is it playing with me? Okay. Take the castle instead. So for instance, let's take this brick. So obviously there are studs underneath here. If I move it, you have these, what is it? 5 studs or so that is now underneath, connected to the plate. So when you optimize it, all these studs here are removed because they are not visible, because they are connected to this plate. So optimizations like that can be done.
So Richard Pilot asked a great question. Is like, why is that not on by default? Like, are there any considerations for when deciding whether or not to turn that on?
Yeah, so if you want your model to be dynamic, and in my little game, I kind of want to explode everything. So I need to explode it into each individual brick. So therefore, I sort of need to have them as individual objects. That can obviously also be improved a lot, and you can do tricks where you swap the model, have the model in different level of details, depending on how it's used in the game. It's very typical in a game that you might have a building where in the distance, that building is actually only a texture, but when you get closer, it is swapped out with more detailed geometry and data. So that is sort of the trickery you do when you really need to get the last drop of performance out of your game.
Nice. All right. So do we end the stream by saving us? Just, okay, do you want to show everyone how to actually, it's really simple actually to make a WebGL build.
Yeah. So I feel pretty good about my game. I might go to there is 2 scenes, game over and win. I can just open it up here in the hierarchy. So you have this win, lose, and intro scene. I might want to open that and style that so it's not,
Oh, what did we name our game?
Oh yeah, what do we name the game?
I think there was Untitled Frog Game, because why not in Unity style? Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So now I have a cool title screen. So if I press play here, I can press play. Oh, now it's actually opening. Yeah, I have to select that as the proper scene. There we go. And then we have this. There's this publish menu, WebGL project. And this one actually guides you through the process of publishing your game. Oh, damn. but not for this stream. But it's very, very simple, where you simply use this publishing tool, and it's also part of it's the last tutorial step in the microgame, where you are walk through this process. But to be honest, if I remember correctly, it's only 2 steps in that tutorial, because it's that simple. It's clicking this one, ensuring you have the right module to Unity installed, which I hadn't, unfortunately, and then it's a couple of clicks, and then it's building that for WebGL.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. So you guys can follow along the tutorial, but let's play your game one last time.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see the final of the final. Nick, what do you think of this game so far?
It's looking great. I love it.
It's basically your game. We made a game especially for you.
I'm inclined to be very partial towards it. I like how many frogs there are.
We need some music as well. So there's a lot of stuff I really want to do with this game to improve it. Obviously, but it can definitely be played right now, and I got 80 points.
If that's something you guys want, we can start doing for the next stream, like how to start adding great audio and music and all the kind of cool stuff in that, which is really easy actually as well. We have some behavior bricks and stuff like that for that too. So
yeah. Up.
Oh no! There's a
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no. Okay, elephant, wait a bit.
Yeah. Messy Coder, you do not only have to publish on LEGO site, you can actually publish it as a WebGL on our Play site. You can share it anywhere you want, actually.
Well, that boat was quite kind to spawn right in front of the castle.
Yeah, and I got 200 points, and I won.
You won!
Yay!
Congratulations! Thank you, everyone, for joining and watching us make this. There's a lot of things you can still do. We could have modified the background, like Anna said. We could have changed some audio, added some cool tunes to play in the background. But I don't want to keep you here all day. Even more frogs. Make a game where it's the most frogs out of all the sets we've ever created. I feel like we're joking, but it's now Nick is like, oh yes. How?
I don't know. I mean, you'd need to have a lot of frogs in the game.
There's no limited resources of frogs in games though, so you don't have to source them like you do in real life. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. I hope you had fun. Remember you can follow all of us on our Twitters. Especially Nick has a pretty fun Twitter. I highly recommend. Maybe he'll.
How many bonsai trees have you made currently on that Twitter?
I think somewhere around 40, maybe.
40?
Oh, wow.
50, I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple. Been making a couple.
Yeah, definitely share with Nick. He loves that you guys modify the bonsai trees. I would love to see what you guys do and share with him. And share the games that you make, because Nick wants to play them. So like I said, we have the showcase running right now, so you can go and start submitting your games. If you made a game in the past 2 hours, I'd be very impressed if you do, but I'm sure some of you did. But you have a whole month to submit some cool games, and you can win a LEGO and /Unity minifigure in a month. So we'll join you back then to go over some of your games, play them, which is honestly the best part. That is absolutely my favorite part of doing these game jams, is to finally play your games.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also, so a little surprise, if you guys are around on Monday, we have a really fun secret stream happening, not so secret stream happening on the Unity's Twitch channel. If you join, we'll have a special announcement, especially if you submitted to the ideas contest. We have a special announcement about what we're doing with those games, and we hope you're going to be there. But we're going to definitely play through a bunch of the games. We've been posting it everywhere in some of the adult fans of LEGO spaces and stuff like that. But there's a couple of games that we're going to play, because there's so many games from the ideas contest we didn't get to. We didn't think it was fair to leave you guys hanging like that. We want to show you and talk more about them. There's just hundreds. So we're going to play through them and talk about a little interesting news then. So yeah. Sam will be joining us, so that should give you a hint as to what we're doing then. Any last words, sirs?
No, this was a lot of fun. I really hope we can do this again soon. Jamming with you, Nick, and chatting with you, Carol, that was fun. And honestly, I was most distracted by all the cool suggestions and comments in the chat. So only
Those
half
are
my
very
brain was making a game.
Definitely enjoyed those. So thank you for all the suggestions.
Yeah, it was
thank
really
you.
fun.
I hope you join us again, Nick. It was really, really fun.
It was a blast. This is great.
Absolutely. So thank you, everyone, once again. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
The LEGO Microgame is your gateway into game development. We created this 3D LEGO world that allows you to create your own web-based game using LEGO Behaviour Bricks.